Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also The Brink, and we are one. So, today's news is a little exciting. We get some updates to the reservation system. We get to know a little bit more about how games are working on launch for the Steam Deck, and there's an opt-in system now for the Steam Deck. This is going to be, a Steam Deck news segmented video. So, nothing new here. But before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar, and there is actually something new. I lied. Let's get into the news. Okay, so up first is something I think is really exciting and good for a lot of people. So there's been a lot of news reports, self-reported news reports on Reddit and other various social media where people miss their deadline to get the deck. Luckily, it's only by a couple hours typically, and Valve is pretty gracious to let them nonetheless get the reservation and get their device. Unfortunate for some of us who want those reservations to fall off so that we can get it sooner, but that's besides the point. So the new system that they're creating is going to be piggybacking off of Steam's notification system. So I don't know why they didn't do this in the beginning. If you build a pretty robust system, which I think they do have, adding an extra line of notifications is pretty simple. And I really do think they have a pretty nice notification system in Steam. Steam's UI software, and it will essentially allow the user to be alerted for when their Steam Deck reservation is able to be fulfilled, so they can buy their deck. And it's going to be on desktop, mobile app, anywhere I believe the Steam UI software is used that has a notification system built in. So pretty much anywhere that Steam, I guess, runs. So if you have a reservation on your Steam Deck, you'll get another notification, I guess. Nesting Steam Deck notification dolls. So before I just go way off track on all that, it will also tell you the remaining time in your window to purchase the device. So if you get the notification and you don't buy it right that second, you can go to the page and see how much time you have left to purchase the device before it runs out. So if you're trying to get money together, $500 doesn't appear out of nowhere. If you need to liquidate some assets like crypto, you can do it and go ahead and buy your system. It's kind of nice. I like that they're going this route. They're trying to be as transparent as possible. It does take time out of their schedule to write this stuff, but it's such a nicety that they're really doing that, and I love it. And let me know in the comments below if this is something that is going to be a game changer for you to not miss, because I know people are they're setting up alerts on their emails, they're setting just timers, whatever it is, they're trying to not miss this. And for me, I get distracted easily, and if I'm not I do focus on a lot of Steam Deck stuff, but if I don't look at my email for a day or two, which can happen because it gets really messy, I don't want to miss my deck. So great job, Valve. This is a very much needed feature. And the next thing that we're going to talk about is even more so. And I don't know why they didn't have this in the beginning, because they kind of do a pretty decent job with the feedback system, but they're adding in a new opt-in feedback system. And I was a little not sure if they weren't already collecting data on crashes. So I would assume that they're already collecting analytical data and just data all around, stack. They're getting stack traces or error reports when games crash, so that they can better debug why it crashed and add that support to the game and to Proton. And that's the way to do it. That's actually, we don't want to catch it at that end. Usually as an engineer, you want to catch it as soon as possible, but this is such a complicated system they're building, and there's, 100,000 plus games on Steam. And so it's really hard to just really catch everything. But that data collection, which I don't know if they've added it until now, which I would assume they added it way back, but it maybe it's additional information they're gathering now, which is good. So I would recommend opting into the feedback system. It's going to make your session better if you have a Steam Deck, that is. If you don't, I don't think they're going to care too much, so they're not going to offer you a feedback opt-in. But if you do have the Steam Deck, this is really big. This is going to make it so it's much easier for everyone to have a better, play session with their games. Like if a game's crashing all the time, it's reported enough, they'll know that there's a major issue there, and then they can trace down the issue to potentially just one bug that they can fix, and it just resolves the whole issue for everyone. It's very, very nice to have a majority of people using these types of systems, because it makes bugs get squashed much faster, because it's much easier to find. And then also part of the opting in system, the main part actually, is you have to agree to, yes, I want to be asked questions. And then when you play games on the Steam Deck, they want to ask how your experience was. Is it, hold up to the verified standard, and just a couple more questions. And I think this is a good system. I really do. I think that this is needed, and it will help verify the verification system, because there's only so much you can do. And then before you're like, okay, well, it ships, it works, like we've tested it. And then if another update down the road breaks it, it's going to then maybe unverify it, but they don't know that. And so this will help just put a little bit of a canary in the coal mine kind of thing. Just say, hey, there's things going on with this game. You might need to resolve it again. I kind of wish they had some type of end-to-end test, or like integration type of test, where they have a system of games on devices that can be spun up and tested when they release new Proton update. But I don't think they're doing that yet. And it would be complicated, but it could be done. Okay, last piece of news. Games, and this is kind of related to that verified step. There's a reason why Valve went with this opt-in system, because they're getting a lot of feedback saying, just outside of Steam or in other places like Reddit, where not, and just indicating that games are not working properly even if they're verified. And there's actually a pretty big list of them, including, I believe, Doom on there. And it's a little troubling for some of us, but if you're in Q1, you're a guinea pig, I'll admit it. And I think a lot of reviewers mentioned that, like, the Q1 is a little bit rough, and I'm okay with that. I wanted to be in Q1. I like being a beta tester, to be honest, but I'm also an engineer. I don't mind being, tested upon. I like being a test subject. And so I wish I wasn't there, but I'm going to be in Q2, joining a lot of you guys. And I think our experiences will be a little better. Q3 will probably be smoothed out pretty good. It really does look like they're really hitting these bugs pretty hard, and they're really trying hard to make sure this is a good experience. With that, new releases like Ghostwire Tokyo it has issues with black screen. So when you launch the game up with the current version of Proton, you'll get a black screen. You can't play the game or anything like that, which, doesn't mean that a new game is going to automatically work on Steam Deck. I'm just letting you know how some of your experiences are going to be when getting a new game. It might take a little bit for it to get verified, which does suck, which puts kind of a wrench in the whole system of being excited for a new release and like, I'm going to play it on my Steam Deck. And you want to play it day one. So I'm hoping there's two things that come from this. One, I hope developers and publishers make sure they get versions of these games that are especially big, and it's going to be hard to do it for everyone, like an indie game and all that. And with those, Valve's, says you can, if it's going to be big enough, they're going to give you a kit, or at least they'll try to give you a kit, and you can resolve it yourself. But hopefully, bigger titles like this Ghostwire, if they could have probably gotten a kit, if they didn't, they could have fixed this on their own, but sometimes resources don't allow for that. Hopefully, maybe Steam could get an early access to the game, which they probably do, and resolve it sooner. Once again, it's a resource management thing, so who knows. But with this, there is the newer version of Proton, Glorious Egg Roll. Love the name. Egg rolls are glorious. And that supposedly fixes the problem. That being said, there's reports that it doesn't for some people. Gaming.it, it does fix it for them, but other people, it does not. And so if you're trying to play Ghostwire Tokyo, which is a fun game, I really like it, I recommend it. You can play it on your Steam Deck if you can get this, the newer version, the beta version of Proton, working on your device. So that's it for the news. Let's get into some announcements. So we have a Discord channel. I don't know if you know this. You can join it in the description below. I am going to be doing an exclusive chat every week with whoever joins for that week. So it's only going to be on Discord. It's not going to be on YouTube. So if you want to come chat about specific topics that the community deems important, like Steam Deck reservations, you can jump in and see the events on Discord. And then also how it's going to work is I'm going to allow you guys to ask questions or to discuss things inside of a voice chat. So this is going to be a little experimental at first, but it is exclusive to Discord. It won't be on YouTube. We'll still do YouTube events, just like we do weekly Steam Deck talk, but this is going to be just a little bit more specific and a little bit more personal. So if you want to go to Discord and check that out, we're going to have one March 27th, which is the day that this video is going down. But we're going to try to keep that going weekly. So, and then also I do have merch. You can check out a link in the description below if you want to get any games revealed merch, and it helps support the channel. So thank you guys for watching. That has been it. Check out some other videos and let me know in the comments below what you think of the news. Did I miss anything? Let us know. Peace out. Later.